Well, hello. So I'm standing here in the bathroom because I wanted to showcase some examples of bad habits that you might be doing in your regular routine in the bathroom. Now, we probably all think to clean the bathroom quite frequently to make it feel and look quite clean, but throughout that time there might be a few habits that just overall makes the bathroom feel a bit messier or dirtier quicker than it has to be. Now, I am by no means perfect and I am guilty of some of these as well. I'll take this as a little reminder to myself to try to minimize doing them. Now, this is just supposed to be a bit of a lighthearted video. So I know that we all make these kind of mistakes. Okay, so that was just a small, quick example. Now, the things that I did wrong was not throwing away the packaging and not drying off the toothbrush. So I thought of more of these kind of examples, made a list, and now let's make our way through the bathroom, showcasing, I believe, 15 of these kind of examples. First thing, after using your toothbrush, make sure to dry it off before placing it back into the toothbrush holder. Often, if you don't, especially in ones like this, then you'll get dirty water sitting at the bottom. And then sometimes, depending on how long you leave that, then that can make the end of the toothbrush also a little bit moldy or just overall a bit dirty. Now, related to that, after you brush your teeth and you have any kind of toothpaste marks left on the sink, for example, then make sure to rinse them and don't leave them to dry in the sink. After you wash your face, don't use the same hand towel that you use to dry your hands. Instead, keep another towel next to it, dedicated to only cleaning or drying your face. If you're out of toothpaste and you grab a new one, then don't just chuck it back where you found it and put the toothpaste in its toothpaste holder. Just don't be lazy and throw away the packaging. The next example. So if you have a razor that you plan on reusing or that you can reuse, then make sure that you rinse off any of the shaving cream, or sometimes if you're in a pinch you can also use conditioner, but make sure that you rinse those things off. And then next tip related to the shaving part, especially if any men shaving their beards, just try not to let it go down the sink drain because sometimes that can clog it. It's better to throw it away into the bin. And I've seen before that you can get these kind of bibs that you can hook onto the mirror with some suction cups. And then you can shave the beard hairs onto that thing and then directly throw it away, rather than letting them fall into the sink and then having that perhaps clog the drain. Okay, so now I believe I've mentioned all the kind of bad habits from this sink area. Now let's move on to the shower. Now, as for the next area, and this is in particular for the ladies, I think we've all done that guilty thing of leaving hair on the edge of the shower and thinking, we'll wipe it off later on. Well, of course, try to remember to grab a piece of toilet paper and just throw that hair away. Also, in that regard, try to minimize the amount of hair that you let down the sink drain, because sometimes that'll just end up clogging the shower drain and it'll just be more work for you when it comes to cleaning the shower drain. Now we've made our way to the toilet area. So if you're in a situation like this where the toilet paper is almost out, but thank God there's something left, and you do this, and then there's just enough for you to use, and then afterwards you leave the toilet paper roll like this, well then you're just going to be in a bit of a pickle the next time you'll need some toilet paper in a pinch. Okay, so let's say you do change it. Now the next bad habit I'm sure we've all done is just tossing the old toilet paper roll to the floor and forgetting to properly throw that thing away. So again, don't be lazy and just throw these things away. Some of these examples are of course super obvious, but I know that we've all been guilty of some of these, even the obvious ones, from time to time. And so as for the next example, if you notice your area where you keep some extra toilet papers is running low, then try to refill those as soon as possible. Even better right afterwards so that you don't forget. So I just went ahead and grabbed some extra, and now I'm gonna refill the area. Okay, so that does it for the toilet area. Now moving on to the bathtub. The next area, the bathtub. After you've finished taking a bath and you've let the water drain, then try to rinse off any kind of bath salts or bath oils left inside the bathtub as soon as possible. Because especially with those bath oils, they can start to get a little bit sticky and grimy on the bathtub, and it'll just make it harder to clean it later on. Now, in the same regard, if you've actually spilled any water over the edge of the bathtub and it's on the bathroom floor, then just grab an extra towel and give that area a proper dry. And now, speaking of towels, and the last area that I wanted to showcase is after you use a towel and you dry yourself off, make sure to probably hang the towel up by making sure that it's evenly spread out. So don't be doing any of this kind of bunched up thing where you hang it up like so, and then if you do it that way, then you might find that the inside or some areas of the towel don't get properly dry. And you want to make sure that your towels are not touching the floor, so don't be doing any of this. And so that does it for the examples of bad habits that you might be doing in your bathroom. This was, of course, just meant to be a bit of a lighthearted video, a bit of satire, so don't take this too seriously if you're guilty of doing any of these kind of bad habits. But these are just some tips or recommendations of things that we are probably all guilty of. I mean, I know that there have definitely been examples that I mentioned today that my boyfriend and I have both been guilty of doing. I mean, I for one definitely do not dry off the toothbrush every time after using it. Overall, I think that if we try to minimize doing these kind of bad habits, then it just makes the bathroom feel a bit cleaner and tidier. And so that concludes this video. I hope you got a little bit of enjoyment out of this. Please consider subscribing to this channel. Other than that, hope you had a lovely day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.